Mic check, mic check. Godzilla's terror of Mechagodzilla ends with Godzilla walking into the sea in this really stunning shot. I think Godzilla knew it was over. Godzilla as in Toho. After milking the series so much, not looking at you, Hedorah, I love you, this shot just feels sentimental. And Doctor Who didn't know it was ending until post-production of the last episode in the 90s, so they added a sentimental line to finish it off.
Somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on, Ace. We've got work to do.
Tea definitely got cold by this time because it wasn't until 1984, a whole decade after the last Godzilla on-screen appearance, until Godzilla actually returned. Title card. People ask why Godzilla keeps coming back after dying, being cancelled and dying some more. The best answer I have for you is Toho loves money. But anyway, it's Godzilla's 30th anniversary of something. That's a very good excuse. The return of Godzilla, 1984. I never really gave this film a chance until now. It really is a captivating start to a new era. The acting is a bit weird sometimes, but this was a decently low-budget action horror film from 1984. For what it is, I think it's wonderful. 4.5 stars. Now, there is a reason why I made this its own separate video. Mostly because I couldn't be bothered to do more before I went on holiday. But also, most people, I think, like to separate the Showa and Heisei eras of Godzilla in different timelines. I do not. I'm one of those weirdos who don't. There's also an American release, which they did with a lot of films before, like Godzilla 1954, where they cut out a lot of cool stuff. They add traditional American slop and re-release it, but a year later. It's a tradition at this point. Godzilla vs. Biollante, 1989. The return of Godzilla, from my knowledge, is an anniversary film. Wasn't expecting sequels. That's why there was a big gap between both films. So this film was supposed to feel big, like a proper big sequel. Back the series in a brand new, modernized style, which I think very much succeeds in. I adore Biollante as an original kaiju. I just wish Toho decided to stick with that theme. Although I do think this film is a little slower than The Return. I think I prefer the political tension in the original, but with the overall production, I can see why the sequel is such a popular fan favourite pick of the series. I also wish Mickey had more to do with this film. 4 to 4.5, possibly 4 again. Ghidorah, 1991. I am super impressed by this one. I don't like the King Ghidorah backstory as much as this Showa version, though that added a whole campy time travel element to it, which I like very much, but I don't would fit this style as much. But I do think Mechagodzilla II did it a little bit better, which is the following film. This era of Godzilla never really stood out to me, to be honest, but now, rewatching it, some of these stories I find stronger than my beloved Showa era, which hurts me a little bit. Every time I watch another film from the HEISEI series, I'm reminded myself how crap some of the older films are. Because these are so good. Sadly, a success of this film, they kept bringing back old kaiju instead of new original ones, like my beloved Biollante. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Godzilla vs. Mothra, 1992, I put re in speech marks because this is my first time actually finishing this film. I found it ever so boring, just pure filler between how great King Ghidorah is and how great Mechagodzilla II is. I love you, Mothra, but this film is just so forgettable. Batra was a nice attempt at a new kaiju at least, but this film feels so slow-paced, cheap, and quite boring. The title is way too similar to Mothra vs. Godzilla from 1962, a very good film, which tackles issues with the government and capitalism. This film doesn't try anything new or try and say anything, which is the worst you could do with a Godzilla film. Remove the political undertone. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla II, 1993. Wow, there is a lot of good films in this series. We are now onto the sequel for Godzilla vs. Megaguirus from 70-something. I've never really cared for that film, nor the character. I felt like Mechagodzilla was a cheap way to bring back the franchise back to life with a dull film and quite frankly lazy character, because it's just a robot version of that beloved but also very marketable character. Thank goodness Mechagodzilla is practically a C plot in this film, not even an A and B plot. This film has a lot of campy fantasy and time travel elements, like from King Ghidorah, in a fresh way, which I love. Maybe this film isn't a 4.5 out of 5, but I've given the series too many 4s. Maybe the biggest thing this film added to the series is Godzilla Jr. He looks a little silly in this one, but I know his design improves throughout. Mickey has been my favourite character since the start, so I'm happy that she, of all people, looked after my second favourite character, a little baby adorable little Goji. I sadly couldn't find the original film, so I needed to watch it in a terrible dub, which kept on mispronouncing Rodan. Rodan's in this film, right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, 1994. This is actually the first time I managed to watch the entire film in one sitting, and it was absolutely terrible. Wow, one-dimensional explorers get most of the screen time. Wow, a space version of a character I love. How exciting. Basically everything this film did, Mechagodzilla II did way better a few films back. This was a pathetic cash grab, and I hate Space Godzilla as a character so much. The one thing this film manages to do right is the design for Godzilla Jr. He is adorable here. 1 star, maybe even less. I don't want to watch this ever again. Godzilla vs. Destroyah, 1995, the finale. For how everything looked so incredibly cheap in the previous film, Space Godzilla, I am so happy that they locked in for this film. Not only is this film shot super pretty, but the set design is also incredible. Though this film did feel a little long in the middle, this is what the series needed, I feel. The characters are so on point, the politics are on point, the original kaiju is so much fun to dislike. This film is wonderful. Godzilla 2000, Millennium, 1999. The title is already a lie. For a film I was just told was just okay. The way this is shot is immaculate. Some really tasty filmmaking here. The film is just great. I adore the new look, I adore the new characters, especially the guy who's in like every Hero Kazukureta film. The only parts in this film I didn't like as much is how brave the crew was, I guess, with their very small budget. I also disliked the sheer lack of the green skin, because, as a lot of people know, Godzilla gets greener in the 2000s, but in this film, not green enough. After rewatching Megaguirus, I must say I prefer the look of that film. Possibly my favourite look for my girly pops ever. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus from the year 2000. It was clear that this film was made intended with a different audience in mind, along with a way lower budget, but I still love this film. I'm not big on the post-credit scene, as it hints of a return of Godzilla, because Godzilla literally got sent into a black hole. It's a perfect end for the timeline, but overall the film is great. It's a perfect amount of silly. It's a really underrated suit design, like I mentioned. I really love the purple tint, the green tint, I mean, and the purple plates. But the post-credit scene works, I suppose, as Godzilla returned not 1 year after in a new series that never really clicked with me. I guess by here Toho knew everyone was here for the crappy monster fights. There's something very noteworthy that happened a few years prior, as the American studio TriStar produced their take on Godzilla. This film is incredibly notorious in the fanbase, completely missing the point and creating such a lifeless American remake. It's almost like that's what American remakes are known for being. The film was a moderate success, obviously not critically, but the film was to get the character popular over there in America, and it worked. But I know of a concerning amount of people whose first impressions of Godzilla was this film. I mean, mine is also weird. Mine was Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, the 60s film, but this is a lot weirder. This is a lot stranger to me, I feel. After the success, Godzilla was mostly used for what Toho knew everybody wanted to see. No politics, just crappy monster fights, so that even the American Godzilla, nicknamed Zilla, appears in one of, I think this one, for about a second-long cameo before getting drop-kicked by Godzilla. Not even Toho liked this film, and they produced stuff like this in the past. Megaguirus, in my eyes, was the last great Godzilla film, and the last that can happily be fit into a timeline. There's a common fan theory that Godzilla, who appears in Millennium, and Megaguirus is Godzilla Jr., as they both share a lot of similarities, and Godzilla dies in Destroyah, the last film before Millennium. So some people say it's a continuity reset. Some people say it's a continuation with Godzilla Jr., which is a fan theory I love. The year 2000, and then nothing, nothing I said. American studio Legendary Pictures buys the rights to Godzilla to create a lifeless remake of the beloved original 1954 Godzilla. With poor lighting, a plot that misses the point of Godzilla, and a really good cast? What? This series went on to continue with many sequels, one even coming out this year. And the way they butchered the look of Mothra, basically every kaiju to exist, I'm not looking forward to what they decide to do with King Ghidorah. I'm honestly intrigued if the backstory will be any better than the HEISEI return of King Ghidorah, which I said I didn't like very much. I have said this a lot this video so far, but I cannot stress this enough how much Legendary Pictures misses the point of Godzilla's incredible symbolism. Godzilla is a special to me. I love the political tension, everything the films say about society in its fantasy sci-fi way with all these great rememberable characters. I love the weird, the wonderful, the artsy nature of Godzilla, and I think the most modern remake, Godzilla -1, does everything about Godzilla perfectly. I'm not letting Legendary Pictures and their American slop get to me, because I know Godzilla -1 is incredible, and its sequel coming out this year, the same year as the Legendary Pictures film. And I know this is the film to bring life back into Godzilla again, like what -1 did, to fill the Godzilla-shaped hole inside all of our hearts. Although for the longest time, for some reason, I tricked myself into thinking they were bringing back Hedorah, they were bringing back Hedorah, when the teasers are clearly hinting at King Ghidorah instead. I like Ghidorah, but I have upset myself. Hedorah's symbolism has been done before a lot, mostly throughout the 70s and 80s, but we haven't had anything like that since, which I find quite upsetting. So I hope Godzilla it'd be Godzilla 1. I hope Godzilla 1 has Hedorah.